Hi, champions. It's Mary Shear, and I'm coming to you from St. Charles, Mo. I wanted to talk to you about a few things. This first recording is going to be about you. It started with me, of course, because I can only help you if I do it first. So here's what I found out. About 16 years ago, I heard a woman named Catherine Lee, shake your head if you know who I'm talking about, awesome woman, taught me something about priorities. I was in a training and she asked us to write a list. I want you to do that right now. Your top 5 priorities, people, experiences, whatever it is for you, those top 5 things. And then I'm going to share with you after you've done that. So I'll pause for a minute, pause the recording so that you can do this. So your top 5 things. So Catherine asked us all those years ago if we would give her grace. Yeah, we did, for her own beliefs. So her list looked like this. God was number 1, and number 2 was herself, Catherine, and her last name wasn't Lee at the time. Catherine Newland was on there, and she asked us. It was like she looked right at me and said, "Is your name on your list?" And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did put God first, but here's what my list looked like. God, then my children, then my husband, then my Juice Plus, and then my JOB, because I worked almost full-time in the operating room when I first got started with Juice Plus. I started feeling better, and I knew that I wanted to do something with this. I just didn't know exactly what, so I had to make an income. That's what I did. So back to my list. I'm shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't on my list. No wonder I got sick 5 years ago. No wonder I was eating hamburgers, French fries, drinking the soda, and thinking that was whole food so I could have dessert. I was taking hundreds of vitamin pills to fill gaps that I didn't realize were whole food gaps. That's really what I was missing. So that was my first lesson in taking care of myself. That I got the God part right, thankfully, for me anyway. I'm not telling you your list has to be like this. Then number 3 on my list, my husband. Hello, he was going to stick around, hopefully, physically a lot longer than my kids. You know, we just get our children for a certain amount of time, and then they go make their own lives. So my husband came first, so he needs to go first. Then my children, then my Juice Plus business, then my JOB. So that's how it looked finally for me when I got the priorities straight. And every day, and I want to encourage you to do this too, every day you have to get up and conquer that list again. So what comes first? What comes second? What comes third, fourth, fifth? Every day, recommit yourself to that. And there's 3 things for that number 2 on your list, which is you. 3 things that you have to do. You have to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. So taking care of your body, let's touch on that first. Well, thankfully, because Juice Plus is in our lives, we know about the core 4. So incredibly enough, the coaching program that I'm involved in now with Eric Worre and GoPro, that is a whole section and a whole homework lesson that I had to do, or I got to do, was taking care of myself. And it was still core 4, just like we teach. Eating real food, drinking water, exercising, moving, and sleeping and de-stressing. So I know you're teaching that to people, but are you doing that yourself first? Remember, you're number 2 on your list before your family and your Juice Plus family, because you've got to fill your tank, your physical tank, your emotional tank, your spiritual tank, before you can start to withdraw from it and give to other people. I heard somebody say recently, the give and receive in your life needs to be balanced. Not all giving. You have to receive too. You have to be willing and able to receive the good. Let people do things for you. So my question now for you is, what are you doing in your day to take care of your body? Are you drinking water? Here's how I measure my water. I measure my water, one of these pitchers, and then to cover my workouts, at least one of these. So water. Whole food, I personally have decided to, and because every day I also get up and conquer Hashimoto's, I have a Shred 10 built-in lifestyle, if you will. So I'm shredding all the time. So what I've added to Shred 10 is the only meat I eat in terms of protein is fish. I drink 2 shakes a day most days, and I follow all those rules. I'm not going to go through those with you because you probably know those already. And if you haven't experienced the Shred 10, highly recommend it. In fact, doing the Shred 10 and then adding this other piece of no red meat, no chicken, no eggs, no dairy, I was able to lose 23 pounds. So that was another great way to take care of me, because carrying around extra weight is not taking care of yourself. So that's how I did it. I didn't do it on the Shred 10 alone. And a little tip for you that I learned from my doctor is that we are not what we eat, by the way. We are what we digest. So that's why Juice Plus is so great, because it's pre-digested. By the way, I take a quadruple dose every day, just so you know. I get up every day and conquer Hashimoto's, so that's part of my regimen. Drink 2 shakes because I got braces right now. The bars aren't working for me. I have to suck on the gummies. So, and I'm totally stoked about these omegas because my eyesight's better. In fact, it's bothering me to wear these glasses right now. So maybe for the next video, I'll take them off. So take care of yourself, eat whole food, drink water, measure your water, figure out how you're going to do that. Now let's talk about moving. One of the first things I do when I get up, because I'm foggy, is I get my workout clothes on and I get in the car or the truck, and Steve Areno and I go to the Recplex, and I do some kind of a workout. So I alternate them. I'll either ride the bike or do upper body or do lower body. And I use a program where it takes less time, but it uses a different intensity level with every rep or with every minute that you're on the bike. So my goal is to be able to do a PFT, and if you're a Marine or know one, you know what that is, a woman's version of PFT by the end of the year. Maybe not a perfect one. A perfect score is 300. So I'll keep you posted on that. So exercise and movement. And when I don't do that, when I do that, let's put it that way, it's like I've drank a pot of coffee that way. And I'm not a coffee drinker, but it gives me that kind of energy during the day. So I love that. Then I can come home, my mind is clear, I can have my quiet time. So I've taken care of my body in that way. I also belong to a yoga studio, and I do that later in the day. If I can do it 6 days a week, I will, because I love it. And it's a great way to build my franchise. By the way, that's what we're doing, folks. We're not building a franchise. We're building a franchise with Juice Plus. So in order to have all those friends, your emotional, physical, and spiritual tank has to be full. So the other thing that I've done is for spiritually, to fill my spiritual tank, is I wanted to have more joy in my life. And so I studied joy in the Bible. This is my 2nd year to study it. So I take a look at that every day. I love a book I've got also that it has a new scripture, a couple scripture verses every day. So I spend my time doing that. I have an audio I listen to called Whole Tones, which was an inspired, I think there's 8 different 22-minute and 22-second audios that are healing. It's called Whole, W-H-O-L-E. I'll show you the cover in a minute. And I also enter something in my junk journal, and I do have another journal as well. So I don't always do all of those things every day, but I spend a fair amount of time in quietness for myself. And I love my salt lamp. I love my diffuser. I listen to the Whole Tones music. I also like other kinds of music as well. So those are the way I work on my spirit and my energy level from the inside out. And then my mindset. So I'm going to be doing a couple of videos specific to that. So one of the things that I do every day is I listen to several times a day in the morning and the evening my declarations. So I'm not going to go into that right now. I will teach you about that later. So let's see. And then here's the thing. One of the things that I was so not coachable about any of this was that I was the original Nike girl. I just did things. And then I might think about them later or might not. Well, really, the principle is plan, do, and review. So plan means that I take some time on Sunday or Monday and I enter my plan into my passion planner. I've actually got it color-coded now. So awesome. So when I do that, it's like I have more energy as well. So that workout, that spiritual quiet time, that plan in advance is awesome. Here's that's The Sound of Healing, the whole tones by Mike Terrell. I totally love it and recommend it. Here's my Bible and all my joy passages that I study. And some of my favorite things are Psalm 23 and Proverbs 31 and the whole book of Matthew, because we're told to ask and receive. And that kind of praying in advance, thanking God and being grateful, instead of worrying, praying, instead of trying to plan everything out, be grateful in advance for what you're going to get and what you're praying for. So it's super awesome. And here's my junk journal. And I will do a video on this, so I'll go into that separately later. But those are the things that I do to take care of me. Also, once a month, I have a massage, actually an hour-and-a-half massage. The body works on 90-minute cycles. So I just encourage you. This is the end of our first time together in video. I encourage you. You are worth it. You are out there being a champion for your children, your husband. You are out there championing, inspiring healthy living around the world. You are helping people every day, just by the mere fact that you're out in the world with people. So I am asking you to take care of yourself. There's a little song about that. Take good care of yourself. You belong to me. I feel like now you're in my circle. And when you're in your circle, that's part of how I feel about you. So take care of yourself, because you have a job that could change future generations. And you can't do that without your tank full. Your physical tank, your mental tank, and your spiritual tank. So whatever you need to do in terms of your higher power, you may believe differently than I do, and I want to give you grace for that too. So thank you for giving me grace in advance, and go be a champion. Number one for yourself, because you're number two on your list in most cases. Thanks for listening.